Welcome back, everybody. I know what you're thinking right now. Wow, look behind yourself. I actually thought they've made a lot of progress in the past week. They've pretty much studded out the whole basement. They studded out the whole basement pretty much. We're not going to be finishing the whole basement. The only room we're going to be finishing is this office right here. We'll finish the basement over time since it's not necessary, since it's just the two of us right now. But this is my office. We'll finish out the office, of course. The one thing I did realize, though, was the fact that right now they haven't obviously put the subflooring down for the first floor up there. But when they do, there's going to be no light in here. So I'm going to have to bring in a light or something stupid right now. So anyways, let's get to it. Week in review. Welcome back. The first question actually is I'm going to tie into a story. So the first question I got from Jay Does Fitness last week was, have you ever considered doing an Ironman? Solid question. I'm going to tie that into a story because, like last time, I love telling stories. So, story time. I was asked to do this Spartan Beast back in 2018 or 19. It was at Lake Tahoe. I think it was 19. I can't remember exactly. Lake Tahoe. And essentially what happened is the Spartan race decided, and Spartan Beast is like their national championships, okay? Just to make sure, like their CrossFit games. Spartan Race decided they wanted to hold this event where they would bring in, I think it was 4 or 5 CrossFitters. It's 4 of us, I think, versus 4 top elite OCR racers, Spartan racers. And they were going to have us do a Spartan Beast, and then later that day, we were going to do essentially a hybrid kind of CrossFit workout kind of style. And they wanted to see who was the fittest, right? That was their goal of determining, hey, who's the fittest Spartan OCR racers, top OCR racers, or CrossFitters. So they brought us in, Lake Tahoe. It's at elevation, and it's a 13.1 mile run, so it's a half a marathon essentially, right? And it was me, Chandler Smith, Sean Sweeney, and there might have been someone else. I don't remember who else. On the OCR side, it was Hunter McIntyre, Matt Kimson, Isaiah Vidal, and I can't remember the females. There's definitely females. I can't remember who they were. Anyways, they brought us in, and the competition started with us doing their Spartan race, their Spartan Beast, but they gave the CrossFitters a 30-minute head start. So we started like we were running the national championships, and this is a 13.1 mile race up a ski slope in Lake Tahoe. So just up a bunch of ski slopes. At the top of the mountain, somewhere at the top of the mountain, we had to jump into 30-degree water, swim around a buoy, come back, and then continue to run up the mountain and down the mountain for the rest. It was awful. I had a newfound respect for the people that compete in that. They gave us a 30-minute head start. I was the last CrossFitter to get caught. And they thought okay, they're never, 30 minutes head start, they'll be fine. That was not even remotely good enough for me to get ahead. I was caught on the way back down. A vivid memory is I remember Hunter McIntyre running down the mountain. I'm jumping from rock to rock, going down a mountain, I'm not super sure-footed, but I'm a pretty good runner from the CrossFit space. And Hunter's just straight sprinting down this mountain like a sure-footed goat. And I remember him running past me, yelling my name as he's running past me. And then when he's in front of me by about 20 yards, he mooned me, pulled down his shorts, let me see his butt cheeks, and then he continued running. Anyways, we got whooped. The CrossFitters got whooped. The worst part was we ran 13 miles, which is going to wreck anybody because I wasn't training for it. Neither was Sean, neither was Chandler. And then we had to do this CrossFit competition with flipping logs and running sandbags up a mountain and stuff. And we were so wrecked, we sucked. None of us CrossFitters did good. I'm pretty sure I got last. So to answer your question, will I do an Ironman? Probably not. I would have to train for it a lot. I do love aerobic work, but this swimming a mile does not interest me. Jalen Slate, it's the coolest place you've ever traveled to. I've traveled to 2 different places that I really, I thought were really cool, and they were cool in their own sort of different ways. Number 1, the Great Wall of China. I went out to, back when we had sanctionals, I did Panda Land in Chengdu, China, which is right smack dab in the middle of China. Kind of like how Kansas is in the middle of the United States. Chengdu's right in the middle of China. I think it was around it was the area is called Panda Land because it's known for having pandas. And after finishing the competition, we got to go to the Great Wall, and it was the most impressive thing to date that I have ever seen. Just archaeologically and architecturally. I hope I use those words right. Right? It was crazy. And the craziest part for me, from a technology standpoint, so not archaeologically based, was the fact that I was able to FaceTime my parents across the world, perfect service on the Great Wall of China. It was just super dope. I was able to fly my drone there. I'm not sure if that was legal or illegal. Doesn't matter. But it was really cool. Other place I've been to that's really cool. Back in 2017, I was able to go teach a CrossFit seminar in South Africa, near Johannesburg and Pretoria. And then I was, after that, able to drive or jump with a group of guys, and we went to Botswana, which is the country north of South Africa, and we were able to go hunting for a few days. And I know what you're thinking, wow, you're a big bad hunter. Like this conservation perspective on a ranch or a farm out there, like they have to keep conservation. They have to actually eliminate animals per year. I wasn't going to go trophy hunting. We just went to go essentially do conservation, and the animals that we shot, we actually brought back to the local butcher and saw everything was used, and the meat was sold. And actually, I think it was just given to the people in the town, because I wasn't shooting any trophy animals. I was just essentially doing conservation for them. But that was a really cool, very pretty. We're actually looking to go back to South Africa in February, hopefully. We've got a friend out there that owns an affiliate, really good guy, really good gym. So we might be going out there in February again. Next question, John. Were you homeschooled? Yes, I was. If you ever hung around me, I will make a lot of homeschool jokes. I was homeschooled from first grade all the way through 8th grade, actually. And then I went to high school for public school for the first time, only because I wanted to play sports, and it was just easier to play sports if you're in high school than, like, I think you had to kind of go to my high school to do that. But I played sports all throughout junior high, being a part of elementary and junior high, being a part of like the local league per se, but then had to go to high school to compete in sports there, wanted to play football. So was homeschooled for the majority of my year, and I always tell people, a lot of parents will come up to me and say, hey, you were homeschooled, can you tell me about the experience? And they mostly ask that from the perspective of their children, right? Are they going to turn out weird like me? And I always tell them that it is, I think, the single hardest decision a parent could make, but could possibly be the single best and or worst decision they ever make for their parent. And let me expound upon that. I thought it was the single best decision my parents made for my education. We were in, where I was currently living at when I was homeschooled, was a terrible school district. And the education that my mom was able to give me, my family was able to give me, was bar none the greatest education I probably ever received. Put me ahead of a lot of classes of groups of kids, and maybe who I am today. But also the bad part to that is your child that you homeschool, their success usually later on in life can be traced back, I would argue, back to their education, back to their elementary, junior high, high school education. And so if your kid has a terrible elementary, junior high school education and just as a failure the rest of their life, probably can be traced back to that, right? Luckily for me, my mom poured into my sister and I and gave us a wonderful education, and I liken a lot of my success and a lot of things I've done later on in life to that benefit and blessing. So long answer to yes, I was homeschooled. Anyways, those are my questions for the day. Now let's do week in review. Sad thing happened this week was we had our friend Taylor Beck. Taylor was a girl who I actually thought was a guy for a while. Let me rephrase that joke. I was told Brooke Wells got a hold of me, games athlete, and was like, hey, I got a friend coming into town. I don't think she said a pronoun like he or she's name is Taylor. She just said their name is Taylor. I don't even know how she said it, but I just assumed by hearing Taylor, me being dumb, it was a dude for some reason. Hey, my friend's coming to town. She's looking for a gym to go to. I told her to come head up with you, and you'd be good people to hang out with. She didn't say she, or I didn't hear it, one of the two. And so day one, had someone show up. Gal strolls in, says her name is Taylor. It dawned on me, this is the same girl. This is not a dude, this is a girl, but Taylor was awesome. She was a really good friend. I'm speaking about she died. She did not die. She just got a job. So she was here for chiropractic school here at Cleveland University. And she got a job back in her home state town of Tulsa. Oklahoma blows. But she got a job back down there. We were sad to see her go. She's been a blessing for us. She's been at the gym training with us and training with Olivia for the past 2 or 3 years now, and just kind of got integrated with our me and Kelly and our family, and was wonderful to have. Anyways, she moved back. And so to celebrate her moving back, we had a 90s themed party. My wife decided to buy a karaoke machine. I am not a karaoke person whatsoever. But Kelly bought a karaoke machine, and I was forced to sing karaoke, and that was the worst thing of the whole week. Next thing, so finished up shooting and competing at the tactical games in South Carolina, like I talked about kind of in the last video, and kind of had some struggles with long-range rifle shooting. So took my rifle to about an hour away from me. There's a range called Great Plains Precision Rifle Range, and it's a range that goes out to 1,000 yards. It might actually go further, but I think at least it's 1,000. I'm not shooting 1,000 with a gas gun, but took it down there, called up a guy who owned the range. I'm a big fan of finding an expert and learning from them instead of like trailing and airing stuff. Like instead, pay people who are experts to speak into your life and to help you learn faster, exponentially faster. So I called up the guy who owned the range, said, hey man, you able to come by, spend a couple hours with me, I'll pay you for your time, tell me what your PT rate is. I need to zero this rifle better, learn how to shoot steel at range better. I need to true the rifle. Essentially, I think I explained in the last video, but truing a rifle means match up a ballistic calculator on your phone with how the bullet trajectory actually happens in real time. Make sure they match so that I can shoot better and more accurate. So we did that, was out there for an evening, out there learning from him. I'm actually going back there 2 days from now on Saturday to also learn from him there. And not learn more, I'm actually gonna go out there and just shoot steel at distance more. So we're gonna do that also. This past week had Jeremy Cordray. Jeremy Cordray is a friend of mine. He is a tactical games competitor. He's also a functionally eating client, and had him out. He's from, gosh, I'm blinking. He's from Missouri somewhere. Higginsville, I think. Harrisonville, 102. He's local. He's like 3 hours away. Not local, but he's kind of somewhat local. He came down, spent a couple hours with me. It was really cool having him come in. I had people come periodically and come train with me in my barn, have them come in. I usually ask them beforehand, hey, what do you need to work on? He'll send me a laundry list, and I create a syllabus for him when he shows up, put it on the board. Hey, here are things we're doing today. He wanted to work on rope climbs, wanted to fix power cleans, rope climbs, something else, and then shooting. So we worked on all those things and hopefully sent him home with a lot of tips and tricks to fix things before he competes in Georgia in a week. So good luck, Jeremy. The last thing is, kind of just like a small disclaimer, is might be working with an ice bath company. There's an ice bath company that builds and manufactures ice baths in Kansas City. And so I've done cold therapy majority of my life. Have not done it recently, only because I don't have a really easy solution for myself. I essentially Redneck made a ice bath into an ice bath. Redneck made a deep freezer into an ice bath. So as a company in Kansas City, they hit me up. So we've been talking back and forth. Might be having an ice bath put in the barn, which would be kind of cool to do, kind of like cold therapy back and forth. I've always loved that, especially for legs. So might be working with them going forward. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my week in review. It's getting dark. I'm sorry, this is a little bit late. I'll be out in Wyoming in 2 days doing content for Magpul, and so the next video I come up will be a little bit later probably because I'm going to be traveling out there and doing a lot of things there. Other than that, guys, if you have any questions, put it down below. Other than that, have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you guys later. See you.